Welcome back to 3-Day Weekend, back in the shop. Gonna get right to it. Pro XP, I had that chocolate differential fluid coming out of it and I changed it and everything. Well, I've driven it 90 miles because I ended up taking it on a trip. Completely forgot that I was supposed to drive it just a few miles and then flush it out again. So I've got 90 miles on this differential fluid that was supposed to just flush it out. And to be completely honest, I ended up tearing through this same mud hole multiple times. So chances are I filled it right back up with stuff. I'm so worried about my transmission, my rear differential. So I'm starting today by just taking the fluid out. We're gonna drain that. I hope it comes out clean, and then we're gonna put some fresh stuff in. I have to do it today and get it all done because we're taking this to Potter County tomorrow, and Potter County is about 100 miles of very dusty, very high-speed trails. So I don't have a lot of time. Let me get this out of here and see what it looks like. All right, here we are. It is slightly over full, but it looks pretty clean. It's got a little bit of a hue to it. That's not bad. That's not bad. All right, it's not as bad as I thought. I'm gonna drain this out and we'll see what it looks like in the pan. But I think we might be okay. No chunks. Boy, there's a lot of sludge on the end of this magnet here. More than I like to see. Ugh. The transmission's gonna get burned up here. Boy, I don't know. Seems pretty metallic to me. I hope my transmission's okay. Really hope it's okay. I also bought a new air filter because where we just rode it is the dustiest I've ever driven it. And that's saying something because we've driven in a lot of dusty places. Look at the, my frog skins are all nasty and everything. Ugh, gross. So rather than trying to clean that filter out, you deserve a new filter after that run, so we're gonna throw that in there. I didn't have a new filter. Thought it came in. Turns out it was the filters for the Aces. So I had to blow that one out. Not ideal, but it's good enough. And yeah, it had some dust on it. Got a little bit on me. I'm gonna go power wash this machine. Then it'll be ready for tomorrow. Then we're gonna start on the next project. Side by side's clean. I'm not, but that's okay. We're on to the next project. Here it is. We're working on the RV. I've got a misfire that has developed recently. And I think it's due to some faulty plugs and wires. So I've got them all pulled off and soaking in PB Blaster while I've got some NASA grade plug wires headed my direction, and they arrived today. So I want to put those on and see if my misfire goes away or not. It's kind of a big deal. Trip's really coming up fast. Bounder is fixed. Check out these beautiful brand new spark plug wires. Ooh, pretty. Those are supposed to never melt, allegedly. Even though you put the little metal boots on them still. But they aren't supposed to melt, and they're solid core, and they have a lifetime warranty. So we're gonna test that over the next 7,500 miles. Yeah, just fired it up, and there's no more misfire. I've got the misfire counter loaded up in here, and it's all zeros. And before just idling it for a little bit, last time I got up to 700 and something, just sitting still. So definitely fix the misfire. Let's make this official. Misfire gone. Red X gone. Back to green. And Provolone, I took care of the air filter and I changed the rear differential fluid. So as far as I know, Provolone is green. Floyd, I'm waiting on just a couple parts. They might start showing up as soon as tomorrow, and then we'll be able to get this thing down. Here's my bad wire. Looks good, right? Nothing wrong with that. Oh, she melted. And there's another one that had a little hole in it. And there's my plug. And that sucker is fouled. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, she beat up. And I'm pretty sure I see a hairline crack right there. So, that little part. That, I think I'm going to buy a cheap set of wires and another set of spark plugs and just keep them in the RV in case it fails again while we're going down the road. It shouldn't, but you never know. I'd rather be over-prepared than to be stranded, because I can fix that roadside in under an hour. I can have those all done, especially with people helping. It's just going to be 1,000,000 degrees down there while I'm working on it, but I can do it. I'm going to give Bounder the green light. I think everything is fixed on it. Took it on a test drive yesterday with those new spark plug wires, no misfires. And it was 90 degrees yesterday, and I towed the trailer with Pro on it, and it did not miss a beat. I was intentionally harder than normal to it just to see what it would do, and it was perfect. And bonus, I fixed the ABS light. This thing has had an ABS light problem since I got it. Thought it was the rotors, put new rotors front, just put new rotors on the rear last weekend. Thought that was going to fix the ABS, and it didn't. So upset. But let me show you this real quick. This is an ABS sensor right here. And I took it out and cleaned it, and I didn't do it. But then I found that it slides in and out of its holder. That's the holder, and this is the sensor. So you can close and open the distance between it and the tone ring on the back of the rotor. So I slid them all forward until they touched, and then backed them off just a little bit. And before I even got down the road, the ABS light was off. So I've been fighting that ABS light for a year, and I officially have it. So there are no more warning lights, nothing. I got new tires, new brakes. The brakes are so smooth, I love it. And no ABS light. So I think the RV is ready to go. Mechanically it's ready to go. There is, are you snorting in the mic here, dog? I got this hose back in here, this white one in the back that goes between the two freshwater tanks. It's this kind of a hose, and it has a slow drip on it, so I got to replace that little section of hose at some point. Oh, look at that, it holds itself up. So yeah, I'll do that sometime, but that's not a big deal. Easy stuff. Let's do something else. I still have Floyd on the lift, bearings and the studs, and those did come in yesterday along with air filters and stuff. But I like the kids to do their own work, or at least be involved in that, to learn them basic life lessons, life skills, I guess. So we're gonna wait on that as long as I can. So in the meantime, let's work on the Jeep. Here, I got this unique issue with the Commander, and it's a Commander RV issue. We have the taillight system, so when I flat tow it behind Bounder, these lights work, but they're super dim. I think because they're incandescent lights, and whatever controller is hidden somewhere in that machine that I cannot find, I think it's an LED only, because my trailer lights are nice and bright, but when I hook up this Jeep to it, these are super dim. Like, I worry about safety because they're so dim. You can see the lights of the motorhome past it, but these are, I just want to get these brighter. I hooked up some LEDs and they did weird things. They were always on, or they didn't blink right. I don't know, so I got some resistors to put in there. But if I put resistors in line with the LED coming from the motorhome, it defeats the whole purpose, because I'm still running a resistor and it'll still be dim. So I don't know, I'm gonna have to look at the wiring and try to put the resistor on the side that only the Jeep will see, but then the controller coming from the RV won't have a resistor. I don't know, I gotta open this up and see what we're doing here. Oh, sorry, I may have blinded you in the light there. Got a hazard light flashing, and this is what the LED's doing on the other side. It's just kind of flickering. So I'm hoping if I put a resistor down in here on the vehicle side, it'll fix that. I got the resistor in there before the diode, And check it out. Now it's flashing correctly. I wonder if it works with the headlight though. It does. And that one works with the headlight. So, that's what I need to do. And then I'm going to drive it over to the RV and hook it up to that controller and see if they work on that too. But yeah, those are much... Look how bright that light is versus that guy. Alright, I'm going to put a couple more relays in, or resistors in. I don't know if it shows as good on camera, but look at the brightness difference. That's so much better. Nice bright LED versus... Ugh. There it be. Now I gotta plug it into the RV and see if it works with that system. If it does, we're good to go. We're getting closer. See, I got my hazards on the RV, and we got hazards on the tow vehicle. Okay, cool. But if I turn on my brake lights, the turn signal's not quite right. See, it's like it's flickering, but it won't flash. But I don't think that's a problem with the Jeep. I think that's a problem with the controller, which I found. Remember earlier I said I couldn't find it? It was tucked up in the trim. It's hanging down, so I think I might have one of those going bad. I'm gonna test it a little bit more, see if I can figure it out. The controller is bad. I wire probed it, and I'm getting 12 volts, well, more than 12 volts, coming from the signal from the taillights. It drops down, but then coming out I'm getting like 9, and it's weird. So coming out of that controller, it looks like a cheap controller. It also looks like one that was not meant to be out in the weather, and it is completely soaked, so that's bad. So I'm gonna replace that whole thing. Got a new one on order. It'll be here for next weekend. Well, that's gonna do it for me today. Waiting on parts, waiting on people. Just a good place to stop. But thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate every viewer, every subscriber, especially those members. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate the support, and I hope that you come back to enjoy another video on 3-Day Weekend.